everything up and running. And boy, do we have a reading today. I think this one is going to really speak to a bunch of us. So I'm looking forward. There we go. Get that going. All right. We have our stuff going here. So, how are you? How are you? Really, truly. Don't want to hear the 4-letter F word, fine, unless you really mean it. And then I want you to expound on how are you? So, yesterday was a hayride through hell. Today is a new day, starting fresh. This information I think is very helpful for all of us, certainly for me. Good morning, Gwen. Glad to have you here. You are the first one popping on today. And I'm going to give it a minute for all the practical rebels and any of you whom the universe guides to this reading today. Know that if you end up here, there's a reason you're here. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome, welcome. And this is a powerful reading. I've already read it 3 times myself when my friend Janice first sent it to me. Thank you, Janice. Greatly appreciated. And twice since. And each time I read it, there's this resonance and a reassurance that, oh yeah, I'm on the right path. Despite yesterday being a hayride through hell, that was a part of the path. Good morning, Joe Neal. Safe travels. Safe travels. And I want you to hear this one as well, Joe Neal, because I think this is so spot on. So spot on. So let us start with some breath and some tapping to prepare our vessel to receive this information, and as much of this information and as deeply as possible as we can go for, right? So, little tapping, little breath. Breathe in through the nose. Good morning, Beth. Out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And I will tell you, right now, I feel like most of what we're doing, it's all about showing up. It's all about showing up. Unfettered, guarded, unarmored up, as real and as here I am, warts and all, here I am. That's what we're being called to today. So, and we'll see. I think that's what we're being called to this month as well. And I'm like, oh my God, it's only the 8th and this is where I'm at. Oi. But I know that this is the fire that's tempering my metal. It is the gauntlet that needs to be run in order to move to a different vibration. This is the green muck coming to an end, right? So a little more tapping, a little more breath. Breathe. Let it go. And actually, this morning I can breathe pretty well because for once, the CPAP actually worked. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe I'm getting the hang of it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. All right. So what I'm going to read today, good morning, Mel, glad you are here, welcome, is channeled information. It's coming from St. Germain, and it's coming through Daniel Scranton, who is a channeler and sound healer. I don't follow him, but my friend Janice follows him, and when she finds something that she thinks is particularly spot on for me, she sends it to me. So thank you again, Janice, for this one. It was spot on. The title is, This is Tempting, but Don't Do It. So breathe yourself open. Breathe yourself ready to receive whatever parts of this message are for you. It is in that formal language that tends to come when information is channeled through various sources. And you can also go to his website, which is danielscranton.com, SCRANTON.com, and find this one. This is tempting, but don't do it. And watch him channel it. Actually, I just read the thing I'm going to read to you right now, but Holy buckets, holy buckets. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you are here. Welcome. Good morning, Barb. Everybody's here, I think. I don't think we're missing any of the regulars. So this is a message I really want us all to soak up deeply. Like I said, this is going to be my 4th time reading it through. Each time I read it through, something different is connecting for me. And it's going to help me tremendously with the circumstances from yesterday that ran in the ditch. So, this is tempting, but don't do it. Saint Germain. I am Saint Germain, keeper of the violet flame. It is quite impressive what you are doing there on planet Earth at this time. You are moving from a lot of darkness into a lot of light. Anybody else feeling it? Oh, yeah. And you are doing so while experiencing a lot of pain, yes, a lot of hardships, yes, and many of you entered into these lifetimes with many disadvantages. Good morning, Betty. Glad you are here. Welcome. I'm not sure I certainly have not had as many disadvantages as others, but we all carry stuff, right? So, Saint Germain says, you actually wanted to see how far you could go in a single lifetime, which is why you were born into the circumstances that you were. You were born into that density and that dimension, knowing that there would be a lot of energies, a lot of thought forms. Remember Plato's forms? Anybody else? Philosophy 101, Plato's forms, divinely perfect out in the cosmos, and then we try to recreate them in humanity, and they're less than perfect. Let's see, there are a lot of energies, a lot of thought forms and beliefs around that would be very enticing for you to play in and try on for size. And of course, all of you have to some extent, because these energies cannot be ignored completely. And I'm going to do an aside here. In fact, they are a part of our process. We must go through to get to the other side. We can't skip this step. All right. And we're just about to the end of this step. So now you have gotten to the place in your spiritual evolution where you recognize that you do not have to continue to play in these energies. You do not have to continue to operate on beliefs that are not serving you. However, the tricky part for those of you who are awake is not condemning that which you have grown from. Let that soak in. Let me read it again. The tricky part for those of you who are, and I'm going to say awakening, is not condemning that which you have grown from. We tend to look back on the mistakes, whatever, and blame ourselves, judge ourselves, be in, harsh self-recrimination. No, 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 no. The tricky part for those of you who are awake is not condemning that which you have grown from. Once you rise up out of the muck and mire of the lower frequency energies, it is tempting to go back and try to snuff all of that out. Anybody? It is tempting to at least condemn that which you have seen does not work. And it does not work for anyone who wants to lead a happy, empowered life that is fulfilling and satisfying. Those energies do work. Hear this loud and clear, folks. These energies do work to give someone a contrasting experience. Sometimes we have to figure out what we don't want, what we've had enough of, before we're ready to move into what we do want. So this is serving a purpose. This has served a purpose, a very powerful, very purposeful purpose, okay? Those energies do work to give someone a contrasting experience. They work to give someone else something to rise up out of, and therefore they must be allowed. You must allow them to continue. So we must allow people to be at lower vibrations, to be exactly where they're at. We can hold them in great faith and love and kindness, etc., but they're going to be where they're going to be. All right? And we were there as well. And sometimes we slide back there, like yesterday. They work to give someone something to rise out of, and therefore they must be allowed. You must allow them to continue. to exist. And it can be the hardest part of the journey of an awakened person to not look back. You do not have to keep telling your story of how you climbed up out of those lower frequency energies. And you do not have to warn anyone else either about them. Oi, this chewing anybody else up? You do not have to put up shields and bubbles of protection to keep them from getting you or anyone else for that matter. In order to graduate to the next level, you have to be able to bless the level that you are leaving. In order to move to the next level, we must be able to bless the level we're leaving. Thank you for serving me. You helped me learn things I needed to learn. I appreciate you. I'm moving beyond. Okay? You have to be able to make peace with it, to see it as serving a greater and higher good. All of this muck and mire that we are slogging our way through right now is serving a higher good. Things were not perfect prior to them hitting the fan like they are now. This was the way to winnow out the stuff that was imperfect before. Not that we're going to be perfect. We are not going to be perfect, but we're working our way through each denser level of vibration to lighter and higher levels. That's what we're here to do. Okay? You have to be able to make peace with it, to see it as serving a greater and higher good, and you must allow everyone else to be right where they are, right now, even if you can see a better life that they could be living, and you can see it because you are living it. Yes, thank you, Gwen. Thank you, thank you. Any of you who are picking up some nuggets here, put them in the feed for everybody to benefit. Thank you, thank you. Even though you know that someone else would benefit greatly from joining you in the light, sometimes you have to let those people play in the dark a little bit longer because somehow it is serving them. There's more for them to learn there. Let them be there. If we're the ones who are there, I'm still there at times, absolutely. Let me learn what I need to learn, and I will, in time, move on when it's divine right timing and divine right order for me. Again, keep showing up. I have another little slip on my table here somewhere that says, do what's right in front of you. Do what's right in front of you. Don't be 10 steps ahead of yourself. Do what's right in front of you. What are you being called to do today? They still need to have those experiences to assist them in becoming the beautiful beings of light and love that they are becoming and remembering themselves to be. Yes, it is very hard to watch someone in the dark and not say anything. So maybe to ease your temptation a little bit, maybe you come up with some kind of a saying. I have one and it drives my daughter nuts, but it's to help me let her do her own flailing. My mother had a terrible time watching me do my flailing. There was one point where she hollered at me, "Why do you have to make all the same mistakes I did?" And I hollered back at her, "Because they're my mistakes to make." And so I remember that fight, and I've remembered that in terms of dealing with my daughter. Have there been times where I've crossed the line and offered the unwanted advice? Absolutely. Now I'm more of the frame that I will ask her, can I give you some advice? You can take it, you can leave it, you can do whatever you want, but I'll feel better knowing that it's on the table. And she often will now say yes. So yes, flailing, lots of flailing. So these experiences are designed to help them become the beautiful beings of light and love that they are and remembering themselves to be. The universe didn't make junk. No, we came here. God made us divinely perfect, humanly flawed, but divinely perfect. That original sin thing, I don't buy that. Original blessing, yep, I'm all over that. We were, we are, have always been these, every little cell in our entire being has always been beloved, in the light, etc. We just need to rediscover that. That's where we're going. That's the path we're walking toward greater illumination, light and love. Letting go of the past is something that most of us are still working on. Letting go of the past is something most of us are still working on. And you need to let go of that which you have experienced and not enjoyed. But you also need to let go of your guilt and your self recrimination because you needed to have those experiences as well. And you weren't wrong to have them. So, those experiences that when we think about them make us wince, we needed to have them. We needed to have them. In fact, I might do some work with that today, like thinking back on those winceable experiences and recasting them in the light of they were necessary steps in my evolution. Necessary steps. You weren't wrong to experience yourself as someone who had prejudices or who did hurtful things and said hurtful words to others. Let yourselves off the hook so you can once and for all rise above what you were born into and become the beautiful butterfly that you were meant to become in this lifetime. I know you can do it, and I know you are doing it, and it is beautiful to behold from afar. I am Saint Germain, keeper of the violet flame. How about that? How about that? To me, that was so helpful because it not only acknowledges what we have been doing, but it acknowledges that we're almost there and that we've done good work and that the prescription for what we need to be doing, letting go of the past, stopping beating ourselves up, stopping sitting in judgment of ourselves and others, allowing ourselves and others to continue to flail when necessary. And we can tell ourselves, must be necessary because they're still doing it. Let them, there was something, have to let people play in the dark a bit longer because somehow it is serving them. What a useful line. What a useful line. So I hope this was as helpful to you as it is to me. I'm going to keep it sitting right here and reread, especially this month where I think things are going to be kind of the hairy eyeball. So I bless all of you, send you on your way. Have an awesome day. Yes, forgiving ourselves for our past mistakes. And perhaps they weren't really mistakes. Perhaps they were just the lessons that were designed to unfold at that time. And whatever we chose to do in that moment was divinely perfect, humanly flawed, but divinely perfect. See you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye. You're welcome, Betty.